dream is always the same. A laptop, a beachfront coconut, and a monthly bill that costs less than a parking spot in Manhattan. For a decade, the digital nomad community has shouted from the rooftops that you can live like royalty on pennies. But let's be real, it's 2026. We've moved past the era of the unregulated nomad. Global inflation has tightened its grip. Digital nomad taxes are being codified into law from Bali to Barcelona. And the secret spots your favorite YouTuber talked about in 2021 are now overpriced, gentrified, and crowded. So the burning question, is the $1,500 a month dream dead? The short answer is no. But the math has changed fundamentally. If you try to live in 2026 with a 2019 mindset, you'll be broke, frustrated, and headed back to your parents' basement by week 3. Today, we are breaking down the hard, cold numbers across 3 continents to see where $1,500 actually works, where it fails, and the hidden lifestyle taxes that nobody talks about until they're already at the airport. 1. The global landscape. Why 2026 is different. Before we look at the map, we have to look at the macro. In 2026, the budget traveler isn't just competing with other backpackers. They're competing with a global remote workforce that has permanently shifted the rental market. In the early 2000s, you could find a local price and an expat price. In 2026, thanks to the ubiquity of short-term rental platforms and localized apps, those prices have largely merged in major hubs. To survive and actually enjoy your life, on $1,500 a month, you have to follow what I call the 2026 golden ratio. 2. The Southeast Asian strategy. Da Nang, Vietnam. Southeast Asia remains the heavyweight champion of low-cost living, but the hubs have undergone a massive transformation. By 2026, Bangkok has pivoted toward high-end luxury. Bali is struggling with over-tourism and new entry taxes. This brings us to Da Nang, Vietnam. Da Nang is the Goldilocks city of 2026. It has the infrastructure of a modern tech hub, the soul of a coastal beach town, and a price point that makes $1,500 feel like actual middle-class comfort. 3. The Latin American strategy. Cuenca, Ecuador. For those working North American hours, Latin America is the logical choice. But gringo inflation has hit the usual suspects hard. In 2026, Mexico City, Antigua, and Medellin have become $2,000 a month territories for anyone wanting a safe, central neighborhood. That's why we're heading to the Andes. Cuenca, Ecuador. Cuenca is a UNESCO World Heritage City that feels like a hidden European pocket in South America. It's walkable, historic, and possesses a secret weapon for your budget. The climate hack. The secret to Cuenca's affordability in 2026 is its eternal spring weather. Because it stays between 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius, year-round, most apartments have no central heating and no air conditioning. In a world of rising energy costs, your utility bill in Cuenca will likely be under $45. That is a massive competitive advantage over Europe or Asia. Housing and infrastructure. You can find a beautiful, high-ceilinged colonial apartment in the Centro Histórico for $400. If you prefer a modern condo style in the newer part of the city, you're looking at $450. The grocery game Ecuador is an agricultural powerhouse. If you shop at the mercados, $25 will buy you enough organic produce, eggs, and grains to last a week. In 2026, while imported American brands are expensive, the local food is world-class. Your total food budget, including dining at the city's incredible fusion restaurants, sits at $320. The healthcare and safety factor Ecuador's residency-compliant health insurance is a requirement in 2026. Many expats pay into the IESS, state system, for about $90 a month or opt for private insurance at $130. We'll budget $120 here. Total monthly spend. Approximately $1,150. Leftover for savings/travel. $350. Verdict. Extremely stable, perfect for slow-paced living. 4. The European strategy. Bansko, Bulgaria. Living in Europe on $1,500 a month in 2026 sounds like a hallucination. In Paris, it's impossible. In Lisbon, it's a memory. But the Balkans have become the refuge of the budget nomad. Bansko, Bulgaria, is the case study for 2026. It's a mountain town that transformed from a seasonal ski resort into a year-round hub for remote workers. The rent and tax strategy Bulgaria maintains a flat 10% income tax, a major draw in 2026. In Bansko, you can rent a studio or a one-bedroom apartment in a complex that used to be a hotel for $380 to $450 a month. The winter variable. Unlike our other two locations, Bulgaria has a real winter. From November to March, the cost of heating, often electric, can skyrocket. In 2026, you must average this out. While your summer bills might be $40, your winter bills could hit $180. We'll average utilities at $110 a month. The social fabric. In 2026, co-working is the center of life in Bansko. A membership at a top-tier space is roughly $150. While that sounds like an extra, it actually saves you money. It provides your high-speed internet, your office, and your entire social circle in one bundle. Food and leisure. The Balkan diet is one of the most cost-effective in the world. Fresh Shopska salads, local meats, and incredible wine are remarkably cheap. You can eat well on $400 a month if you lean into local ingredients. Total monthly spend. Approximately $1,380. Leftover for savings/travel, $120. Verdict. Tightest budget of the three, but you are inside the EU system with modern safety. 5. The 4 silent killers of the 2026 budget. You can pick the perfect city and still fail. Why? Because the 2026 economy has invisible costs that didn't exist 5 years ago. 1. The expat bubble tax. If you move to Vietnam but only eat avocado toast, drink oat milk lattes, and shop at organic import stores, your $1,500 budget will vanish by the 15th of the month. In 2026, global logistics costs have made Western comfort food a luxury item. If you want the budget to work, you have to eat like a local 70% of the time. 2. The digital nomad visa fee escalation. In 2026, the visa run is becoming a relic. Governments want their cut. Countries like Spain, Greece, and even Malaysia now have formal digital nomad visas. The application fees, background checks, and lawyer fees can total $1,000 up front. You must amortize this. If a visa costs $1,200 to get, that's $100 a month added to your rent. 3. Transaction and currency friction. If you are pulling money from a standard US or UK bank at a local ATM every week, you are losing 3% to 5% on the spread, the difference between the real exchange rate and the bank's rate. On a $1,500 budget, that's $75 a month literally thrown into the trash. In 2026, using a multi-currency account like Wise or Revolut is mandatory, not optional. 4. The lifestyle creep of convenience apps. In 2026, delivery apps like Grab, Glovo, or Uber Eats are everywhere. They are addictive. But the delivery fees, service fees, and small order fees add a 25% premium to every meal. If you use these apps every day, you are not living a $1,500 life. You are living a $2,000 life. 6. The 2026 strategy. How to win. The people who tell you that you can't live on $1,500 anymore are usually the people who refuse to leave the Instagram zones. To make this work in 2026, you need a soft landing strategy. Stop moving. Every 30 days. Short-term Airbnbs are 40% more expensive than monthly rentals. Sign a 6-month lease. The real price of a city is only revealed when you commit to a neighborhood. The local grocery rule. In every one of these cities, there is a Western supermarket and a local market. The price difference is often 300%. If you aren't willing to buy your vegetables from a woman in a market stall, you can't afford a $1,500 lifestyle. Community over convenience. Join the local Discord and Facebook groups. The best math comes from knowing which local dentist is affordable, which gym has a local rate, and where the best $3 lunch is hidden. Embrace slow travel. Moving between countries is the most expensive thing a nomad does. Flights, luggage fees, and first-week mistakes, paying too much for a taxi, etc., destroy budgets. Spend 4 months in one place, not 4 weeks. 7. The final verdict. account. Can you do it? Yes. In 2026, $1,500 a month is the Goldilocks budget. It's not enough to live like a billionaire in a capital city, and it's not so little that you have to stay in hostels. It is exactly enough to live a dignified, adventurous, and comfortable life in a secondary city. The math works, provided you trade convenience for immersion. The world is still affordable, but it's no longer cheap by default. You have to be intentional. You have to be your own accountant. But the reward? A life free from the $4,000 a month treadmill of London, New York, or Sydney. The question isn't whether $1,500 is enough. The question is, are you willing to change your definition of luxury to fit the reality of the 2026 world? Closing a notebook and looking at the camera. The math is on the table, the cities are waiting. So what's stopping you?